Hello everybody, this is Jimmy. Today we are talking about a very classic racing game. This racing game and its entire series were once incredibly famous, a flagship series from Namco. Many titles in this series even serve as launch titles for new Sony's console. Kazuhira famously shouted at the PSP launch event, "Rage Racer!"
It's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer. Remember that one? All right, so let me...
showing just how big of a name this game was. But you can imagine the atmosphere and the audience back then a little awkward, isn't it? Rage Racer Type 4 is the fourth installment in the Rage Racer series, released in 1998 on the original PlayStation. Keep in mind, the first game in the series was released in arcade in 1993. Wow, were you even in kindergarten back then? I believe some of you might still be in your mother's wombs. Rage Racer 4 holds a high position in the series, possibly the best game in the series. Possibly, really? Personally, I mean it is. However, it's not the game that I played the most in the series. This doesn't mean I have bad taste. How can my taste be bad, right? Well, it's because it's gameplay. From today's perspective, it's just okay. There's not much content, not many cars, and not many tracks. The controls are a bit outdated for a modern racing game standard. There's not even a custom mode, and most importantly, the game only runs at 30 FPS. I know, many of you probably turned off the video right now, wondering why am I even talking about such an old game? What's the meaning of that? Friends, pal, bro, listen to me. Some classic old games might not be suitable for playing in modern day, but they are interesting for discussing. Rage Racer 4, let me be honest, this game itself is truly a classic, but it's also quite frustrating for new players. Take my advice, just watch the video and move on. If you really want to play, I recommend Rage Racer 7 on PS3 and Rage Racer 2 on PSP. The PSP version, although called Rage Racer 2, is actually a remake of the tracks and cars from the previous installment. Perfect for new players who want to experience older game but can't stand the graphic and control of old title. Honestly, I'm quite curious how many of the viewers are fans of the series. Even players my age who haven't played it have definitely heard of the name of Rage Racer. As for the clueless new player, well, you can be blamed. It's been over a decade since they released a new game. The last mainline sequel in the series was Rage Racer 7 on PS3. There was also a spin-off title that was outsourced, but the subsequent 8 installments have yet to materialize. Rage Racer was crucial for Sony back then. Who is Sony's arch rival in the console market? Who? Sega. They had a racing game like Sega Rally, Outrun, and Daytona USA. After all, they started with arcade games, so how could they lack such titles? And what did Sony have? How could Sony not have a competitive product? Another example will give you the full sense of importance of Rage Racer to the PlayStation console. The PS1 console was designed with reference to the hardware specification of Namco's System 11 series arcade board. Because Rage Racer ran on this board, given the PS console's powerful 3D polygon process capability, Namco deserves some credit. But the original Rage Racer ported to the PS1 only get 30 FPS, which kind of disappointed. The arcade version was a solid 60 FPS. You lower the graphics, fine, but also half the frame rate. Really? So what exactly did they reference their arcade board for? If they didn't reference anything, what are they going to do? Are they planning to give us 15 FPS racing game? Seriously? I have a special bond for games that evolved from arcade. I vaguely remember seeing the original Ridge Race arcade cabinet when I was skipping school and hanging out in the arcade every day. Ridge Racer is a racing game that emphasizes drifting, but its drift control really confused me. I don't know who is the genius behind that. To drift, Normally you have to brake or pull the handbrake while turning the steering wheel around a corner, right? That can't be wrong, right? Ridge Racer is different. Before entering a corner, just release the throttle and turn the steering wheel, and the car goes crazy and starts drifting on its own. You don't need to touch the brake or handbrake. This game doesn't even have a handbrake. So that means I misunderstood drifting before. So that's how drifting works. Okay, next time I might have to try this math in my own car just to verify it. I sincerely hope it works. Come on, don't worry about me, everybody. See, I'm back, alive, and making a video for you guys. Anyway, back to Ridge Racer 4. What truly attracts me isn't its gameplay. Gameplay is important, but it's never the most important thing. Some players like to outsmart the game rules, starting then to develop a unique gameplay. I prefer to naturally absorb the game design, art, and music. Everyone get what they need, and nobody bother anyone else. This situation is similar to what I discussed before with Need for Speed 5 Porsche Unleashed. What attracts me isn't the gameplay, but something beyond that moves me. So, what is that? What else could it be? Huh? It's woman. When I think of a Ridge Racer 4, the first thing that comes to my mind isn't the beautiful tracks or cool cars, this young lady. I believe many people, even those who haven't played Ridge Racer, have probably seen this CG. Namco's masterful CG technology combined with excellent storyboarding creates this unforgettable opening. The music, the character, the animation, and the atmosphere are all top-notch. The short-haired female protagonist in the CG is named Reiko Nakase. The feminine grace emanating from every gesture of her body, which contrasts perfectly with the cold motor car. Reiko Nakase, as a key figure in the Ridge Racer 4 and the series, became one of the most prominent stars in the racing game history. Many more CGs featuring her appear in subsequent Ridge Racer titles, but unfortunately, none could recapture that summer afternoon when you rolled down your car window and saw the woman outside, shyly pursing her lip, then casting a meaningful smile at you. That captivating allure. This CG also won numerous awards at the time. Namco CG from that era frequently won awards. The CG for Soul Blade was incredibly popular too back then. There wasn't just one woman who captivated me in this game. There was also Sophie, the team manager of the French racing team in the cutscene. It was just feel character portrayed, part of the short skit during the campaign mode, consisting of portraits, subtitle, and music. The font wasn't novel, but the artist's skill was simply amazing. With such a limited resolution and extremely limited pixels, they create vividly expressive character. Sophie's playful and shy demeanor was so lifelike, adding a lot of emotion elements to a cold racing game. Namco was so clever. What the gaming industry lacks now is game companies that truly understand and consider the player's perspective. Sometimes I even wonder, wait, am I playing a racing game? I feel like I'm playing a dating simulator. I even look it up, and unsurprisingly, the artist is Kei Yoshimizu, the master artist who also creates the video character Reiko Nakase. This master really knows how to portray women. I admire him so much. Of course, as a game, a racing game, having pretty women is not enough. Beyond providing an exhilarating racing experience, Ridge Racer 4's art and music absolutely blow me away. This game exudes an individualistic, avant-garde vibe from top to bottom. The overall feel, including the visual and sound, completely surpassed other ordinary game back then. Nowadays, it's popular to call games works of art, and in terms of artistry, this game is definitely among them. This is a PS1 game. If I were to force a discussion with you about the graphic of a game from over 20 years ago, about the complexity of polygons or the detail of texture, wouldn't you feel awkward? I would feel embarrassed myself, to be honest. The game's concept design, including the vehicle and truck design, shows a lot of popular elements from Japan in the 80s and 90s. Looking at it now, it has a sci-fi feel while also carrying a sense of nostalgia, especially the city tracks, which have a touch of the currently popular cyberpunk style. Especially driving through the elevated highways and tunnels always reminds me of the Japanese anime series Pet Labor, and also seen from Kazuhiro Otomo's film Akira. I'm really curious if any of you guys have similar association. If so, that's amazing. There might be sparks between us. Hey! And the game's UI design is incredibly ahead of its time. This is a game from over 20 years ago, yet it uses the minimalist, flat design with large color blocks that is so popular on mobile operating system. Today, the bold yet simple yellow and black UI even feels a bit time-traveling now. Overall art design was influenced by another Sony sci-fi racing game, Wipeout. Namco hired a dedicated design team, Designer Republic, to create it. They really put effort in it. Furthermore, I'm confident the music in this game is absolutely the best in the series. The music is entirely electronic, incorporating jazz and pop elements and using instruments like jazz piano and saxophone. I especially love the tracks composed by Hiroshi Okubo, who also did music for Namco's Tekken and Ace Combat. When I saw this information, I was amazed because I absolutely love the music of both of those games. Plus, I'm particularly interested in Japanese pop music from the 80s to 90s. So all this graphic and music combined create a world of art in which I was deeply immersed. As you can see, I have nothing but praise for this game. But wait, how come such a great game, such an amazing series, can't even get a sequel? Hey bro, it's not that Ridge Racer is dead, it's that racing games from that era are all dead. Sega Rally, Outrun, and Burnout. Those popular IPs have all faded into obscurity. Even the Need for Speed series isn't doing so well these days. Back in the PS1 era, compared to its competitor, Ridge Racer, with its pure 3D technology, easily won over fans with its visual impact. But with the rise of the next generation game, Western developer emerged, and graphic technology was no longer their weakness. It even became their strength. Also, the trend of a sim racing game started with Sony's Gran Turismo series and gradually gained popularity. Ridge Racer, emphasized on fast-paced, exhilarating gameplay experience, gradually lost its appeal. Now with the rise of open-world racing game like Microsoft Forza Horizon series, which perfectly cater to the needs of new players in terms of content and style, they have largely replaced the former status of games like Ridge Racer. This has basically killed Ridge Racer. Actually, this situation is somewhat similar to traditional action games like Ninja Gaiden and Devil May Cry, which emphasize pure control and are increasingly alienating from the taste of modern player. However, action games are slightly better off. There are no new installments, but sequels to older series are still being released. Ninja Gaiden 4 just got released, right? And what about Ridge Racer Ace? Wow, as a fan of the series, what do you think? I think we should just consider, give up. I already given up. Witnessing the decline of once glorious game series is heartbreaking, isn't it? Come on, knock it off. You are just putting on an acting. Game company not releasing sequel means what? It means the fans have changed their minds. It's because you guys don't like playing it and don't pay for them. Am I right? So the problem is not wrong with the game company, but it's also your problem too. And by the way, you guys should learn from me. I'm not only love playing old games, but also make a video for them. RACER 4 has many features that incorporate elements of Japanese pop culture from 80s to 90s. When I was young, I especially admired the era, whether it was movie, music, or games. I like to revisit them from time to time. Compared to today's new racing game, the gameplay of new game is definitely stronger. The content is more substantial. But aside from the gameplay, there's nothing that attracts me. Where the individuality, where the vibe is fun, yes, but after playing it, it feels empty and unmemorable. It really feels like a one-night stand. Okay, that's all for today. I'm Jimmy. See you next time.